friends, welcome back to my channel, Storybook Crochet. In today's tutorial, we are going to be making the cutest Little Kisses Valentine's baby hat. These are perfect for your little ones this Valentine's Day. Whether you're expecting a newborn or celebrating your 6-month-old, I've got sizes for everyone. This tutorial will show you how to make 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and 6 to 12 months. This adorable little hat is not only sweet, but is super simple to make.
Won't you take me home? Give me wings to fly.
With today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make all 3 sizes with one hat. It is very simple to adjust which size you need. So you're going to need 3 different colors of worsted yarn. For today's, I'm going to be using gray. I'm going to make a red heart, and then you'll need some white for the little paper at the top. You're also going to need an H crochet hook. You're going to need some scissors, and then you'll need a yarn needle to weave in your ends. So let's grab all those supplies and we'll get started.
We can run away.
Alright, so you're going to start out with your main color of your hat, and for me this will be gray. So we're going to start out by making a magic ring, and to do this I take the yarn length here and wrap it around 3 fingers. You're just going to cross over the short length here. Once you have that crossed over, you're going to go underneath the bottom one, grab your top length of yarn and pull that through. Once you have that secured, go ahead and hold it onto the hook. Take the loop off your fingers, and then you're going to chain 2. So for round number 1, we're going to make 5 double crochets in the ring. So to make a double crochet, you're going to yarn over, you're going to go into your circle, grab your yarn and pull that through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Then you're going to yarn over again and pull through the last 2 loops. So that's our first double crochet. So you're now going to make 4 more of those. Alright, once you have your 5 made, you're going to pull on that tail, and that will close that opening. Then you're going to slip stitch to the first double crochet you made. So skip that chain and just slip stitch into that first double crochet. Then you're going to chain 2 again. So at this point, you're just going to want to pop the top of that out. So this is going to be the very tip of the hat. Alright, so I forgot to mention that rounds 1 through 6 will be the same for each size of hat, so we'll all follow the same pattern there, and then I'll tell you when to move on to part 2, depending on what size you are making. Alright, so after you've chained 2, we're going to increase around, which means we're going to put 2 double crochets in each stitch around. So go in the same stitch as your chain and make your first double crochet. And then you'll go into that same stitch and make your second double crochet. All right, that's our first increase. So you're going to do this a total of 5 times around. At the end of round number 2, you'll have 10 double crochets made. All right, once you get your last one made, you're going to slip stitch to the first double crochet that you made for round number 2. And then chain 2. And you'll do that at the end of each round, doing your slip stitch to the first stitch made, and then chain 2. All right, starting round number 3, we're going to start out by making 1 double crochet in our first stitch, and then we're going to increase in the second stitch. So put your 2 double crochets in that second stitch, and then you're just going to repeat that pattern around. So 1 double crochet in the next, and then increase. So repeat that around till you get to the end. You will have a total of 15 double crochets made at the end of round number 3. Alright, for round number 4, we're going to do the same pattern we just did. So we're going to start out by making 1 double crochet in our first stitch, and then we're going to increase in the second stitch. You're going to do this around for a total of 7 times. At the very end, you're going to have 1 stitch left, and you're just going to put 1 double crochet in that last stitch. This is going to give you a total of 22 single crochets at the end of round number 4. All right, for round 5, we're going to start out by making 2 double crochets and then increase in the next. So go ahead and make your first double crochet in that first stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then you're going to increase in that third stitch. You're just going to repeat that around, again, a total of 7 times. You will have 1 stitch left at the end of this round. You'll just put 1 double crochet in that last stitch. This will give you a total of 29 double crochets at the end of round number 5. All right, so we can start to see the shape of the hat taking the shape that we want for our little kisses hat. So for round 6, we're going to do the same pattern around. This time we're just doing 3 double crochets and then increase. So make your first 3 double crochets. All right, and then increase in the 4th stitch. So same as before, repeat that around. You'll have a total of 7 times, and then double crochet in that very last stitch. All right, if you are making the 0 to 3 month size, you are now going to move on to part 2. If you're making the other 2 sizes, you're just going to continue watching and move on to the next round with me. All right, so for round number 7, we're going to do the same pattern around, but this time we're doing 4 double crochets and then increase. All right, once you make your 4, go ahead and make your increase. Just repeat that pattern around for a total of 7 times, and at the end of round number 7, you're going to have a total of 43 double crochets made. All right, at this point, if you are doing the 3 to 6 month size hat, you're going to go ahead and move on to part 2 of the video. So if you're continuing to watch, this next row is only for the 6 to 12 month size hat. All right, so moving on to round 8, we're going to do 5 double crochets and then increase in the 6th stitch. All right, once you get your first 5 made, go ahead and increase. And then just like the previous rounds, go ahead and continue that pattern around, making your last double crochet in that last stitch, and you will have a total of 50 double crochets made at the end of round number 8.
Castle in the sky.
All right, so now we are on part 2 for all sizes of the hats. So for the next few rounds for each size, you're just going to put 1 double crochet in each stitch around. So go into that first one and make your double crochet, and then just keep working 1 in each stitch around for each hat size. So this is going to be a different number of rows for each size. So I'm going to add up on the screen here real quick the instructions for each size and how many rows that you want to complete for the size of your choice. So go ahead and finish off through your last round of part number 2, and then we'll all meet back and finish off the hat in part 3.
Won't you take me home and give me wings to fly? We can be alone in the castle in the sky. We can run away and leave this world behind. Please just take me home to a castle in the sky.
All right, so part 3 is going to be the last round for all hat sizes. So you're, instead of chaining 2, you're just going to chain 1 this time, and we're going to single crochet around, but we're going to do it in the back loop only. So instead of going under both loops like normal, you're going to go in between the loops and just go underneath that back one, and you're going to make a single crochet. And you're just going to do that in each stitch around, making sure you're in the back loop only for each single crochet that you make. You'll have the same number of stitches as you did from round number 2, depending on the size of hat that you made. So go ahead and finish off the last round here, and then I'll show you how to finish that off. Then we're going to grab our heart color and then make that next. Okay, now that we're at the end, we're going to go ahead and just slip stitch to the first single crochet that we made. Pull that through and then just cut a shorter tail, and we're going to weave that in. Okay, you're going to want to grab your yarn needle here. And then I go and weave through the inside part of the hat. So I just come down the next stitch here, pull that tight, and then I just go through the bottom round. I go back and forth a couple of times just to secure that end in really well. All right, and snip that off. And so the main part of our hat is now finished, and that's what that should look like. So you're going to want to grab the color that you want to make your heart for next. And I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit smaller hook, but you don't have to. You can use any size hook. You can even use the same size that you used for this. I just think they look a little bit neater if you go a little bit smaller of a size. All right, so let's grab those things and then we'll get started. All right, so to start the heart, we're going to go ahead and make our magic ring. And all of our stitches are going to be worked inside this ring. So once you have your ring made, you're going to go ahead and chain 3. And this will count as our first treble crochet. All right, so we're going to start by making 2 triple crochets. So we're going to yarn over 2 times to make our first one. Once you've yarned over 2 times, you're going to insert your hook into the ring, pull up your loop. You'll have 4 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2. Yarn over, pull through the next 2. And then yarn over and pull through the last 2. And you made your first triple crochet. So you're going to do that process one more time. So yarn over twice, insert your hook and pull up your loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So we have our chain 3 and 2 triple crochets. Next, we're going to make 3 double crochets. All right, after you have your 3 double crochets made, you're going to make 1 more triple crochet. Okay, so we have our chain 3, 2 triple crochets, 3 double crochets, 1 triple crochet. So next we're going to make another 3 double crochets. All right, after your 3 double crochets, you're going to make 2 triple crochets. All right, and the last step is we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to slip stitch into the ring just to finish that off. So just pull that through that loop. All right, at this point, you're going to take your tail and pull on it, and that will close the heart. And you're going to have to pull kind of hard to get it all closed all the way. Okay, so let's pull up that loop and go ahead and cut a shorter tail here. And then just go ahead and finish that off, pulling that tight. And then you might need to pull that center tail a little bit more to close that completely. So that's what our heart should look like. So at this point, you can go ahead and either weave in both tails and then use some glue to glue your heart on, or you can go ahead and use your longer tail to go ahead and sew it onto your hat. All right, for our last part, we're going to need our white yarn to make the little paper tail that sticks out the top of the kisses. So you're going to go ahead and start by making a slip knot. All right, and then you're going to chain 11. All right, after you have your chain, you're going to start in your second chain from your hook here, and you're just going to single crochet 1 in each stitch across. This will give you a total of 10 single crochets at the end of row number 1. All right, once you get to the end of row 1, you're just going to chain 1 and turn your piece over, and then you're going to just put 1 single crochet in each stitch across, giving you 10 stitches again for row number 2. All right, now that we're at the end of row number 2, we're going to go ahead and cut a little bit longer of a tail, not too long, but we're going to use that to sew it onto the top of the hat. So finish that off, and then you're just going to want to weave in your shorter tail before we sew that on. All right, so we can go ahead and sew the paper to the top of our hat here. So you're just going to kind of put it to the side at the very last row, or the very first row that we made. So I just come through both rows of the paper here. All right, and then I might do an extra little stitch on the side just to get that more secure. And then you're just going to weave it through the white part of the paper here a few times back and forth just to make sure that's good and secure on there. All right, so our little kisses hats are now finished. Go ahead and comment below what size you made and what colors you used for your hat. I would love to hear about your projects. As always, go ahead and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe so you can get more future videos I post every week so you don't miss those. As always, thanks for joining me, and happy crocheting.
Won't you take me home and give me wings to fly? We can be alone in the castle in the sky. We can run